Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be comparing the performance of default vanilla Minecraft, Optifine, Sodium, and then a new one, Vulkan mod. So that'll be pretty cool. Make sure to like, subscribe, stick around for the end. I forgot to mention my my specs, which is kind of important. I have a Ryzen 7 5800X, which is an 8-core 16-thread CPU. I have 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, clocked at 3200 megahertz. And then I have an RX 6800, which is a 16 gigabyte GPU from AMD. So those are kind of important. Alright, so we'll open up the single player world. This is all on the same seed and everything. Alright, so here we are. Let me let the chunks load in. Alright, we're looking good. And okay, so if we look down into the cave like we're going to do for all of them, we're getting around 940 to 955 FPS. We're looking at roughly 1 to 1.2 frame time. We're looking at 16 gigabytes of RAM utilization. We're looking at 25% on the CPU and around 55% on the GPU. Those are all pretty normal. And yeah, that's basically it for vanilla. We're getting around 940, 950 FPS, and surprisingly a ton of RAM. Oh my gosh. And these are all the default settings and stuff. Alright, let's move it over to Optifine. Alright, let's open up the world. And we're getting the same area. We're getting more like 1050 instead of 950, so about 100 more FPS. Our latency is actually about the same. The RAM has gone down 6 gigabytes down to 10 gigabytes, which is amazing. And the CPU is more at 22% instead of 25%, not a big difference. And the GPU is at the same 55%. So less RAM usage and about 100 more FPS on Optifine, plus all the nice features like zoom and shader support. So that's nice. Let's move on to Sodium. Alright, top end. And here we are. Let me move. Okay, we're looking at hold up. I don't know why this screen is flickering. That's really weird. We're looking at 1700 FPS, same RAM usage, much lower latency, 0.4 to 0.7. CPU is actually higher, closer to 30%, so that's not great. Actually, our RAM is going up again to 13 gigabytes, and the GPU is at 75%. So it's definitely being pushed a lot more. Let's move over to Vulkan. Alright, we are looking at more like 1400 FPS, so actually technically lower than Sodium. However, the frame time is much more stable and much more nice in the middle. Let me wait for everything to kind of even out. And we're at the lowest we've seen for CPU utilization at 18%, 17%, and the GPU is at only 60 to 55%. That's great. And we're looking at the same, like 15 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes of RAM usage. And so you may be wondering, why do I choose this one? It's not getting both FPS. Well, what I like about Vulkan is specifically that smoothness of the frame time. I have a 240 hertz monitor, and so I can feel all the little micro stutters and everything when I'm playing. And on specifically a server that I have on an instance where I have a lot more just kind of general nice to have mods, those kind of add up. On Sodium, there's a lot more stuttering when I'm looking around and everything, whereas when I loaded up Vulkan, like, it was just buttery smooth. It's like instantly I could feel there was just zero stuttering whatsoever. Once the chunks loaded, you're not feeling a single frame drop for forever. And so while yes, I might have 300 FPS less, oh horror, I'm already getting 1500, so it doesn't really matter in the first place. And the frame time is just much smoother, much more consistent, as well as the CPU utilization being much lower. And that's just all due to the fact that Vulkan, if it couldn't already tell, Vulkan is a completely different rendering API, and so it's just much newer and much more efficient, especially with the CPU, and so we can get great performance for lower utilization actually, and just much smoother in general. So that's why I use Vulkan. You can choose whatever you want. There's other things out there too. I just kind of wanted to do a basic rundown video showing you kind of the differences and such. So this has been pretty interesting to me. Will those zombies be quiet? Oh my gosh, they'll all keep catching on fire and then putting themselves out. Whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell me which one you're gonna stick with, whether you're still on vanilla or if you're gonna move to something else. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.